Trying to apply for a New Zealand visa but you don't know how? Here are 5 steps to getting a New Zealand work visa. Kiara Fano is a girl a sassy engineer. In this video, I'll be taking you through 5 easy to follow steps to getting a New Zealand work visa. This is especially useful to people who are interested in coming to New Zealand to work but don't really know how to go about the whole process, what to do first, or steps that they need to take to applying for and getting a work visa. I am discussing all of that in this video. So if that is you, keep watching. If you are seeing my face for the first time, you're welcome. I share everything you need to know about New Zealand and also take you through the beautiful New Zealand sight and sound of everything in different playlists on my channel. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, this is the opportunity to click the subscribe button to join that community because we got a lot to offer on here. Without further ado, let's get into the topic of this video. 5 easy to follow steps to getting a New Zealand work visa. Who needs a work visa? You will need a work visa if you have a job offer from a New Zealand employer, you have a partner and want to join them and work here, you are from a country that has a specific work stream, you are coming here for a specific work related purpose or event, sport people who are coming here. You can check out my video that relates to those coming for sport purposes, or you have been studying here and you want to stay back and work in New Zealand. So this video on my channel has everything about staying back to work in New Zealand, so you can check out that video as well to learn everything you need to know if you want to stay back and work in New Zealand. But to do that, you need a work visa. That's why it's important that you watch this video to the end to learn the 5 easy to follow steps to getting a work visa, a New Zealand work visa. Step 1 is to learn about the different types of New Zealand work visas. I know people are surprised. What? Yes, there are different types of New Zealand work visas. I've had people reach out to me and tell me some agent is applying for a New Zealand working visa for them, and I ask which type, and they say working visa. There are different types. There are different types of work visa tailored to different needs, and I talked about this on my channel under the video types of work visas in New Zealand. So look at that video to learn about the different types of work visas, because you need to know the right visa for you. The kind of work visa you need to apply for will depend on your situation. Like I talked about, you could be a partner of a student visa holder, you could be a partner of a worker in New Zealand, you could be looking at work to residency. There's some work visas that can lead to residency, and I've talked about that again on my channel. The 3 types of work visas that lead to residency. One of them is a straight to residency visa I talked about on my channel as well. Some of them are, if you have jobs on the green list, those can lead to residency. So you need to learn about the types of work visa. Not just learning about the different types, you also have to learn about the requirements for each of these visas.
Do you meet these requirements?
Application fees for each of these work visas. Once again, that video on my channel on the types of work visa also has the different application fees for this visa. So I strongly suggest you check it out. It is also in the Coming to New Zealand playlist. Again, it's on my channel. So everything you need to know about the different types of work visa are on my channel. And from there, if you need more detail, you go on to Immigration New Zealand website and you read more. The fact sheets are there and telling you exactly what you need to know. All you have to do is to research. So learn about the different types of New Zealand work visas. That is the first thing I will say you should do. And once you figure out what exactly is right for you, you go on to apply for a job. Step 2 is get a job offer or a job. If you are new to the channel, you probably have not seen these videos, but they are on my channel and I'll suggest you go on to watch. If you've been following me for a while, you will know that there have been so many changes around immigration settings. And right now, if you want to come to New Zealand without going through other pathways, you will need a job offer for most of the work visas. When you're applying for a job, there are certain things that you have to consider, because as an immigrant, you can't just apply to any employer. There are certain criteria that you need to meet. For instance, that employer must be an accredited employer and their license has to be valid. How can you find accredited employers? You can find out which employer is accredited if you check out this video on my channel, which just tells you how to check if an employer is accredited before you go on to applying for a job with them, because not all employers can sponsor or employ foreign workers. In addition to that, your job offer needs to offer you salary or wages that needs to meet a threshold, which is the median wage threshold. And if you've been following this channel, you will know that this threshold has changed this year, but there are some work visas that are still using the 2023 median wage threshold. So these are the things that you need to find out. And your employer would need to support your visa application. So you need to find an employer that is willing to also support your visa application. Some employers sponsor the visa application, which is basically taking care of it. But some will just give you the support letters. So these are all the things that you need to find out while you're applying for this job offer for this work, you need to engage with your employer as well and negotiate some of these things. Some of them are non-negotiable. And one of the non-negotiable is that your employer needs to support your application by filling a certain form which you need to add as you submit your visa application. Negotiate. You can negotiate up to even your leave. Okay? So be very, very pragmatic and don't just fall for anything, basically. Before you get a job offer, you need to have applied for the job, right? Or maybe you were referred. That is easy. Now, how can you apply for this job when you don't even know what is available? You can apply for jobs directly. You can apply for jobs through agents. I have listed several agents on my channel that you can reach out. Start from there, but you can also explore other types because they are a range. Some of these agents are specialized in a particular area. Some of them cover broad areas. So first thing you need to do is to watch the video on the channel, then you can explore from there. I've also listed different ways, 8 ways that you can get a job from overseas or from even when you're in New Zealand. Check out that video to know the different ways you can find a job. All these videos are on my channel, the 8 ways of getting a job and the recruitment agents. The most common marketplace for jobs in New Zealand is called seek.co.nz. There's also Trade Me Jobs. There is also Indeed. So you can use all these online job portals, filter them according to what you want and apply for this job. There will be vacancies there and they will tell you how you can apply. Some of them will need you to apply directly to them. Some of the job advertisements are put on there by agents, recruitment agents, so you still need to go through recruitment agents. And once you apply for this job, you'll be given an offer. Look through the contract, don't just rush and accept anything. In the process of accepting that job offer, this is where all the negotiations can come in, back and forth. Don't just accept anything. If you are satisfied with the offer, then you accept the offer, sign, and voila, you're ready to go. Your employer will need to give you some documents to support your application. When you're gathering your documents, which is the next step, you need to also get this document from your employer. Some employers would support your application by not just giving you the documents that you need to include in your visa application, but also helping you with the visa application process, like providing an immigration advisor or immigration lawyer, paying for the visa, just for yourself though, nothing to do with your partner or anything. So ask all those questions during the interview stage and negotiate. Negotiation is very, very key. Don't be desperate. Even if you are, don't show it. This is the most rigorous test and this is what will take most of your time. So you need to put in an effort. If you really want to come to New Zealand through the work route, you start early. But honestly, it could take up to 1 year to get a job offer. Some people start this thing long time. Some people are lucky and they get it in 2 months, in 3 months, get at least an interview stage. But it can take very long. But for most foreign workers, applying for that job, that particular step is the most rigorous and tedious of all because it's honestly not easy to get jobs from outside, especially in today's time. As of today, May 2024, it's a difficult time in New Zealand to get jobs. Except you are extremely good in your area and you are well known, then you don't even need any introduction. So if you are thinking of moving to New Zealand to get through the work pathway, you need to start applying for jobs early. Now, once you have the job offer, you begin to gather your documents, all the paperwork that you need to support your visa application. So that will be your third step, gather your documents. There's so many documents that you need for this visa application. And some of them you don't even need to wait till you get the job offer. You can start gathering them. But the job offer is what would need to propel the visa application, right? When you submit your visa application, you need to prove your identity. You need to show that you have a good character, you're of good health. So these are some of the documents that you need to start gathering. Basically, your passport. You may need to do some medical examination. You'll be told that. You will probably need to translate your documents to English if your documents are not in English. You will need to add your employer supporting letter. So it's called employer supplementary form. Your employer will need to fill that form, give it to you, and then you upload that form as documents to support your visa application. And there's some other documents that you will need to prove based on your situation. For instance, relationship, all those kind of things. So once you have that job offer, this is the time that you start gathering your documents. And once you have your documents gathered, you then go on to submitting your visa application. Now, the gathering document stage is very important for your visa application because you want to include all the documents that your visa application requires. Now, the type of documents that you need to gather will depend on the type of work visa that you're applying for. but there are generic ones like identity, good character, health. So sometimes you may need to provide police certificates, you may need to provide medical certificates, relationship to your spouse if you're including those people in your visa application. But most importantly, who is employing you? Are they accredited? Have they supported the application? And are they paying you the required salary for the type of visa that you're applying for? What I would like to highlight here is that you don't need proof of funds for most of the work visas. What would be your proof of funds is your median wage, because you're coming here to work, so you are sure, or they are sure, that you are going to be earning money. It's for other visas like partner of a student work visa and other things that are kind of open, and you don't necessarily need to have a job offer before you can apply for it. Those are the ones that will need proof of funds, and those ones will come from, your spouse, who's going to be your sponsor. But for the general common New Zealand work visas like accredited employer work visa, you don't need proof of funds, but you need to have a job offer, and that job offer needs to pay you at least at the median wage threshold or above. So for some work visas, you need to be earning 1.5 times more than the median wage threshold. But for some, if you earn at least the median wage threshold, that's fine. So once again, you don't need proof of funds for most New Zealand work visa. So gathering your documents would include all the documents that you need. If you need to start doing translation, go and do it. If you need to swear affidavit, you get on doing them, but you make sure that you have everything before you submit your application. In summary, the types of documents that you need to show will be proof of identity, proof of good character, proof of health, proof of genuine intention, your job offer, how much are you earning, and any other extra thing that comes with the type of work visa that you're applying for. Once you have that, you submit your visa application. The fourth step is to submit your visa application. You can submit your work visa application online or on paper. Most work visa application can be submitted online these days, which is good because you don't need to post things around and be scared of your document getting missing. I highly recommend submitting your application online. In that case, you need to put a lot of documents, or your document has to be complete because they're not seeing you one-on-one. So don't forget to add the cover letter explaining your situation where necessary. Okay, there's a video on my channel that provides step-by-step guide on submitting a visa application online, how to submit an online visa application, and I highly recommend that you watch that video because it describes everything in detail of how you can submit a visa application. And in this case, it's work visa, but it also applies to student visa, it also applies to visitor visa, it also applies to partner visa. So whatever visa you're applying for, that video is it. So the link is going to be appearing here, but I'm going to put the link in the description box as well. It's also in the Coming to New Zealand playlist. This is what the thumbnail looks like, so look out for that video on my channel. Once you submit your application, you are now in the last step of getting a New Zealand visa, which is to wait for decision on your visa application. And this particular step is out of your hands. It's up to the immigration officer who is going to be looking at your case, your file, and deciding this fit. So make sure that when you are adding your document, you are asking yourself questions as if you are an immigration officer. And whatever doubts that comes in mind, make sure you put a visa, an evidence to support that doubt. I always say when you are applying for a visa, put yourself in the position of the immigration officer. If you see this application on your table, taking emotions aside and sentiments and all those things, how would you judge this according to the visa requirements and immigration setting? If you have doubts for certain areas, those are where you need to put most of your evidences. You need to answer those questions. Taking sentiments aside, the immigration advisor is not your family member, and even if it's your family member, they are not supposed to be biased in their decision making. Does it meet the requirements? Is it credible enough? Is this person lying, or is this person, they have to ask all those questions along the way. At least that's what I think they do. And if you receive your application that you're submitting, would you approve that visa? That's the question you need to ask yourself before you submit your visa application. And there you have it, 5 easy to follow steps to getting a New Zealand work visa. It's very simple, but like I highlighted, the most rigorous of them all is the second step, which is getting a job offer. Once you're able to cross that hurdle, the rest is very easy, but it will also require you doing a lot of research. Don't just wait on an agent to tell you this or an agent to tell you that. Yes, you're paying the agent to do the job for you, but you also want to be sure that this agent is not scamming you, because there are a lot of scammers around. That's why I'm doing this video, to share this information so that you don't send your hard-earned money to someone to just enjoy. So do your research do your due diligence before you decide to engage an agent. But as I always tell anyone who cares to listen, you can apply for your visa by yourself, except maybe your condition, your situation is very complicated, because there are people who are somehow, because of certain decisions or people around them, entangle themselves in things they shouldn't be entangled with. When it now comes to visa application, their situation is very complicated. In those cases, yes, you can use an immigration lawyer and advisor. There are some cases that people are very busy, they don't have the luxury of time to apply for this visa themselves, or some people just believe that it's bad luck if they apply for their visa themselves. That's fine. You can use an immigration agent or lawyer, but do not feel that you need to use them. You only use them because you want to use them. You can apply for a New Zealand visa without an agent. You can apply for your visa by yourself. All my visas that I applied for were done by myself. I did not use an agent. So if I could do that, you can do that too. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you have learned a thing or two. If you know anyone who needs this, do not forget to share it to them. Don't be stingy with this information. Share it wide, because we need to enlighten people. People need to learn so that they don't fall into the hands of scammers who are parading themselves as agents. If you haven't yet joined the community, click the subscribe button to join the community. Don't forget to like this video, comment, ask your questions in the comment section, and I'll answer when I have the time to do that. See you in the next one. Toodles.